Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn has handed down her long-awaited ruling in the Nzinga King case. Now, Ms. King alleged that a female police officer had cut her locks while she was in police custody in July last year. As Giovanni Dennis now reports, the DPP has recommended that the police officers involved in the case not be charged.
The crux of this recommendation from the Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, is the credibility of Miss Nzinga King.
At least one could say about 11 very significant inconsistencies or discrepancies on her statements.
But how did we get here? In July last year, Nzinga King's story shocked the nation when she went public with allegations that her locks had been trimmed without her consent while she was in police custody. Ms. King reported that she was traveling in a taxi when there was an altercation between another passenger and a policeman. She said the policeman then sprayed pepper spray into the taxi. She alleged she was arrested for not wearing a mask after she stripped off her mask because of the pepper spray.
All right, family, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. I'm definitely sure that most everyone knows of that incident. I'm speaking of Sister Young Nzinga when she went through that situation with the police officers, and she was trimmed, her locks was trimmed. Well, at least now they're trying to make it sound like something else is happening. I'm sure many of you have already heard that news. In fact, what I'm going to touch upon right now, is an interview I did with Bongo, Flako, and Honorable Priest Dougie. And that interview was conducted just a day ago. And in that interview, Elder Flako actually mentioned the young sister Nzinga. At that time, I was not aware that they have dropped all criminal charges. Imagine that, criminal charges. And I think Bongo Flako made a statement that they were saying that, they ruled that she was insane or had mental problems, something of the sort, but he kind of just said it and dismissed it. But of course, after the interview, I went to kind of catch up on exactly what's taking place. And this is the information I came across. Not this specific one I just showed you, but in general, I read up on it and all the charges have been dropped. They're saying that her accounts was there was a lot of inconsistency in her accounts. They said that 2 other people that were in the cell said that she plucked out her own locks. Listen, you know how the system's staying, man in prison that won't get out. All you have to do is just butter their hand and they chat anything for you, and that's the truth. I ain't going to be judge and jury here because I don't know what really took place with them 2 people that say that they see her pluck out her hair. Some people say that they have video. There's a video. I saw a glimpse of a video with her supposedly inside of a cell with her locks like in a bun. And now they're saying that, well, she claimed that the locks was cut before she went in and all of that. But listen, family, we just have to continue to watch and see how this one play out. I don't know if there's been any heavy protest, because this came out a while now. This is at least a week or so old. So I honestly don't know what's happening on the ground, if there's been any uprising towards this or anything of the sort. I can't say, but I'm going to continue to follow it. But what I'm going to do, I wanted to say a bit on the Lenten period that is coming up. But of course, this is chalice talk, actually, chalice meditation. So I have my chalice here. I want to hold a little meds for those of you who understand how the chalice talk goes. We hold a meds and we either listen or watch something of interest, which what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you just a clip of the interview I did with Bongo, Flako, and Priest Dougie. And in fact, let me just give you a timeline here that I will be airing the whole interview. The audio, you should write this down. The audio of this interview, the full audio will be aired on Radio Anu on Saturday evening at just after the Sabbath, 7 p.m. sharp on Radio Anu. Saturday evening, 7 p.m. sharp, we will be airing the interview by Brother Priest Dougie and Brother Bingi Flako. Now that's 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, and that should be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure after the Sabbath, when the Sabbath done, and if you are on Eastern Standard Time, that means as soon as it done, Priest Dougie, Bongo Flako, wonderful interview we did, and the interview was really about Rastafari organizing and centralizing. That's really the interview. So you need to check it out. Plus, we will be premiering it on the YouTube either Sunday or Monday. But for sure, the audio of it, tune into Radio Anu after the Sabbath, and you definitely will be getting the full, about an hour and a half interview. I'm just going to give you a bit of it now, as I just look to light up the chalwa. Taking a sip of some rich sea moss there. Of course, you know, the Lenten period is coming up, eh? So we're kind of preparing here is like them bears that fatten up themselves before they go into hibernation. And of course, you don't know sea moss is extremely rich. Minerals, what they say, about 99 or something trace minerals. And remember, you know, since that is up here, let me just remind you before we go too far that you could definitely check out our holistic food section on our website. We're right here on the website, priestisaacinstitute.com. Check out the holistic food section where you could order all your foods. You know, as I said, although it's a fasting time, this is the time you need real food, as Priest Dougie was saying. So even things like your moss, your Irish moss or your sea moss, this is the time you need your nuts, your raw nuts, your walnuts, your macadamia nuts. I mean, this is the time you need your raw honey and your agave nectar, because remember, you know, this is the time you gotta put away them sugar thing, as King Emmanuel teaches us, no grain sugar and all them funny food and too much of flowery and wheat up and white up flour. No, you need the best quality food for this fasting period. Interesting, eh? You eat the best food during the time of fasting. For sure, as I said, you need to strengthen yourself. The Irish moss or sea moss, both male or female, is definitely a key part to this addition. I mentioned that sea moss reasoning before, you know, I'll get into it again, as someone's are saying, without to me any real clarity, you know, about putting away certain things during the Lent and things from the sea. But I honestly think that's along the line of fish. And of course, it has to do with the time when this was going on, when ones would have, you know, go and buy their fish right away. It's not nothing you're going to no freezer and getting all of these things. So you got to keep all of that in mind. But I don't want to stay too long on that. I want to light my chalice, and we can get back to that in a moment. I want to carry you to the interview we did yesterday with Bongo Flako and Priest Dougie. And again, all you have to do, family, if you email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, and you ask for a catalog of all the foods that we have in our holistic food store. Because remember, you could order by bulk, we ship it to you, and it's more economical than when you go into the whole food store. Yeah, the holistic food store is here. We made sure that we put ourselves in a position that we can supply the best quality food, nutritional food at the best prices for those of you who are conscious and really want to step up the game, and for your family and everything. So make sure you get your sea moss or Irish moss, get your raw cashew, get your almonds, get your grains. Just contact us. And remember, the Lent is less than 2 strongs away, about, as they call it, a week and a half. So get it now, definitely, before it's too late. All right, I'm going to hold this meditation here now. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. Give thanks to the holy meditation provided. Pray the Almighty bless us, and as we partake of it in your holy name. And give thanks to the Sabbath day. Give thanks to the long expected day begin. dawning on these realms of born sin. Give thanks, King Emmanuel VII, Dunya God, Jah, Rastafari, blessed love. Yes, family, let's take in a little bit of this, huh? The priest and Flako.
I listen, lucky baby, that the OAU, it was his strategy. That is where that proves his ingenuity. That is one of the things that Chicken Nick, Richard Nixon, wrote about.
Right,
Welcome him.
Rastafari. Yes, bring your Flako. So tell me now, I know you're keeping some notes too. So understanding the strategy the Emperor show us, I mean, how from your perspective, how is it we going to do it at this point? I mean, there is a man that deal with all the elders, you know, they have youths just coming into this. You have different ideas, different tug of war. Most Rastaman just want to win, no matter even if they're in a group, no man on their own thing. And just by them nothing. You know, but so what it is, how is it going to be solved? And you know, just from your idea.
Rastafari, give thanks.
I know I'm gonna like my chalice.
You know, a lot of things, but honestly speaking, the Nyahbingi was not prepared for this. Nyahbingi, in its glory of 7 priests, including the high priest, have never prepared that the priesthood will be as it is today. At present, there's no priesthood. No high priest and no 7 priests.
I hear you talk about that all the time.
So the Nyahbingi is without that. The question is, should we dissolve the priesthood and go back to groundation? Forget the tabernacle. That all these priests are volunteer priests, you know. They are not legally registered. They cannot do marriage. They cannot do sanctification. They cannot sign no legal documents. Some of these priests, they don't deal with rites of passage because they are Nazarite and they don't look undead. Give thanks that Bongo Isaac was Ethiopian Orthodox.
Yeah.
And even when the Ethiopian Orthodox priest came, I got him. We were not familiar with the chants. We were not familiar with the routine.
Bongo
But
Isaac.
respectfully, we stood there. The thing with Nyahbingi is reorganizing now. Is Nyahbingi willing to sit down, critique themselves, and decide which way they want to go? And that's a challenge with Nyahbingi. We cannot say there's administrative council. We cannot say there's a youth council. We cannot say there's a sisters council. We cannot say there's a priesthood. I'm talking straight. Nyahbingi is in a reformation, but are one willing? What you have is one say they are Rastafari. They don't need no office. They are just Rastafari. It don't work like that.
One away.
Yeah, so they come and pack up the thing and run it their own way. It's like a bad man, done man thing. It don't work.
Okay, I get you now.
It don't work. So what we are saying, the beauty about Nyahbingi is a house of Isis. We chant and we bonfire and we tear down everything which is possible. That is a Nyahbingi fire. You have the fire key outside, raging fire, and you have a little altar inside.
Inside, yeah. Oh my.
That's it. So when it comes to reasoning now, technical reasoning of restructuring, you're not having that. So within organize and centralize, first, we could not say we are ready for that at this time until we are restructured. We'll have to decide. We have a problem in being stamped and sealed also. Who will stamp the documents of the house? Where is the stamp and seal? So we have technical administrative problems that people are scratching their head to fix. It should not be so. Because within the timeline of Nyahbingi, there is no understudy ones. So we don't want trod home because one living in flesh, you know. That's a reality. The Nyahbingi was live forever. We realize now that man go shed flesh and go to a different realms. So where are the replacements for those ones? Where's the training ground to take over the mantle when one step out. So there's a big vacuum within the Nyahbingi house. And what we realize, like South Africa, there's over 3 million Rasta, which is more than the population of Jamaica. So Nyahbingi himself has outgrown Jamaica, sadly to say. And ones are looking on Jamaica, say, Jamaica, what are you dealing with when it comes to being the realities? What guidance are you willing to give us outside of Jamaica? Yeah, you see? So when you can say, another high point is the Rastafari collective security. Are the Nyahbingi, the Ashanti and the 12 tribe willing to sit down now, put the scheme to side and deal with Rastafari collective security? We learned that even being Ireland, Locks was cut.
Yeah,
when he was in hospital.
Yeah, man.
What's going on with those atrocities? So who is providing that collective security for all Rastafari?
And that's before the sister was locked. Sorry. I was just saying that's before the young sister's locked was cut.
But then we learned that she had mental problems, and we stood the ground with her now. And now we know DPP says something is wrong with her mentally. So and then again, and then
you hear it there for yourself. And as I said, when the elder said that, I didn't get the fullness of what I just presented to you at the beginning of the program. I didn't even get that part from, well, I need to cover it more. And of course, Bongo Flako is on the ground. But we didn't go any more into that aspect of that reasoning in this program, I would say. So maybe if I got wind of it prior to, because the elder actually somewhat sounded like if he, dismissed it as yeah, man, she had mental problems, and we stood with her, in a sense of, should I say regret? We stood with her because I know she's from Rastafari parentage. Her father and her mother, at least her father was speaking about during the time of Bakawal, and so I'd assume Bongo Flako would know her father personally. But I don't know too much of the situation to go too deep into it right now. Yeah,
when he was in hospital.
Yeah, man.
What's going on with those atrocities? So who is providing that collective security for all Rastafari?
And that's before the sister was locked. Sorry. I was just saying that's before the young sister's locked was cut.
But then we learned that she had mental problems, and we stood the ground with her now. And now we know DPP says something is wrong with her mentally. So and then again, I find out within my administration circles, there are youths in school due to the COVID. So they're going to school with plaque now. And in school we have none of that. And we have to try to sign papers for them, say their mother and father is not Rastafari, but their nieces and nephews and uncles are Rastafari. So what do you do? They say, okay, Nyahbingi, defend these ones. How can you defend them if their blood parents are not Rastafari?
Rastafari, I hear you.
So you come back with the administration. How would you administrate these needs of the ones? That's it. Come back to the collective security. What is Baba Shanti views on wearing of locks, cutting of locks? Well, there's 12 tribe views on it. So we have to come to a table to discuss all those prominent matters, because we have to, how are we going to move to repatriation? How are we going to solve our problems, common problems, if we are not sitting at the table? What is presenting executive of the houses then to sit at a table and reason on these problems?
Yes,
there was a delegation to Panama. And when Baba Shanti came to Pit 4 in the tabernacle, there was an emblem problem.
You know how you go.
We should not be within the tabernacle. And there was a little bad vibe between Nyahbingi and the emblem. It should not be, because we should respect the other houses for their stance within their emblems, that their position. So they respect our same way. So we have to overcome the emblem hurdle and the full doctrine and the smoking hurdles. Because we notice now, man a floss. He might drink alcohol, he smoke weed. Now you see, herb. I might drink the boom and the chaser. All the youth them doing that, you know.
Yeah, man.
So it's a lot of indiscipline within the youths. So if there's no Council of Ancients then to sit and reason, guide the youths. But Nyahbingi don't have that right now. Nyahbingi is trying to reform. So where we go say, Mobile Shanti could come in as a foundation house. And then Nyahbingi to restructure also the 12th tribe. So we can't sit and do it alone.
Yeah.
Because there are ancients all over Jamaica, you know. It is just not Nyahbingi ancients. Because it's one Rastafari. So how are we going to address the one Rastafari for I and I all if the mansions are split on some technical terms and not willing to sit on a table? Because even for the all mansion, we could never get no one from the House of Congress to sit in at a meeting. Who sat at the all mansion were not in representative of Congress, represent themselves. As a result, you could not go forward.
Yeah.
So I want to know, even from Priest Dougie, who are assigned to do outdoor work then within the Congress to go visit Nyahbingi, to visit 12 tribe, to visit those who are even not within the house and mansion. Because remember, you know, there are many Rastafari who say them born house and mansion. Let me just Rasta. What are we going to do about them? Are we going to restrict ourselves to the three main mansions? How the repatriation will go? I'm going to say, okay, Ms. Rasta, come my grandfather and great grandfather Rasta, so Ms. Rasta, although you don't see no locks.
Yeah, I get your point now.
Look at too. He said, no, because me no locks, Ms. Rasta. I tell me this and me that, you know. I cannot deny him of your faith. Don't. We can restrict them. So you must have a discussion. One of my brethren was saying that we need a Rastafari constitution that governs all, that incorporate all the mansions, legally signed document of a global constitution that covers all mansions and non-Rastafari. Because if we still gonna stuck within the mansion frame, there's gonna be problems. We're not gonna see eye to eye because little food doctrine and alcohol and.
Let me come in here, family. Family, the reason get deeper. In fact, it done deep already. Trust me, you see that honorable priest Dougie sitting there cooling. Well, you just heard him coming in at the end of a little fire too, you know. Man, what a wonderful reasoning here, you know. But I'm gonna just take a next draught of the chalice talk, and then we reason a bit more on the fasting and the Lent, and then we seal up, you know. So taking a bit more. But remember, it's a wonderful reasoning, and remember after the Sabbath. So that's 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. I will be running the full interview on our radio station, which is Radio Anu. Of course, that's at the Priest Isaac Institute. So that's priestisaacinstitute.com. But of course, all the links to get to the website, the link to get to the radio station. So the website homepage plus the radio station link is in the description below. So you just go down, all the links are there. People have been asking about PayPal and CashApp. All links are below. You go and press it and it carries you to these important places. So you'll be hearing that full interview, nice interview, man. You can set your chalice and sit up after the Sabbath and know you're getting a nice reasoning, something to ponder on for sure. And we definitely, if you miss it that evening, we're gonna rebroadcast it the Sunday morning on Kidemi, which is a program we do every Sunday morning at 6, at least Eastern Standard Time again. So if it's Eastern Caribbean time you're dealing with, well, Eastern Caribbean time, if it's Eastern Standard Time you're dealing with, 6 p.m. would be 5 p.m. That's a good time to be up, man. Real good time to be up. And this full video itself, for those who are on the YouTube fans, this full video, either Sunday evening or Monday evening, you will get the full premiere of this. So prepare yourself to even comment in the chat. And because the reasoning, it was very nice. So I'm just going to give you a few more moments of it while I take one more draw, at least for the chalice talk, and then we get into a little fast and Lent reasoning, you know.
Ways of life. The thing is that is one Haile Selassie for I all. One Nyahbingi. Because Nyahbingi born everything, you know. And Bobo Shanti born the same thing. 12 tribe born the same thing. So that is the collective strength, the revolutionary passion that we have for repatriation and reparations. So if in the sense that is unification of the houses make we lose in that focus. So why when the representative to government, we only see Nyahbingi? We're all in discussions about the word, the IRIC, the word IRI.
Yeah.
The Iridex wearing that we learned that was thrown out. It was the angelic eyes of Warika, you know. The eye cross bag man them, you know. The tar rod man them in what 8-foot rod, you know, when they wear crocus bag. Wanna sleep with woman. What cook 100 pepper in and sip, you know. Wanna touch money. And them the man there, you know.
The man is I man.
I. And then create the I chant, the chant without words, the I chant. That is like
Iris Star. Man like Bongo Iris.
Yes, yeah, am I twin? We know him personal.
Yeah, man, I'm a father that man.
And his mother for Rika, who created the word Ayarik from the word Amaric. They are still alive. So we have to open the discussion and incorporate some of the foundation ones them now to bring forth the same organized and centralized.
Of course.
Remember, you know, Mama Desta put out a paper, see me, of a Rastafari Anniversary Declaration. Have you seen it? Mama Desta put out a paper, Rastafari Anniversary Declaration.
I believe Dougie would have.
Oh, I never see Bongo Flako. I not get that, and it's out there. A man like you supposed to don't see that and peruse that already and make your opinion on that Rasta. A man, I like to have records of the like the eye. That's important. That could look through Rasta and put your stamp on it same way.
Yes, Bingy. I did that. I did that because it was let's just share it with I. And they want a ratification from the House. And we did that.
Well,
so
I made one out.
Okay. Yeah, it was ratified. But there again, you have
Selassie, yeah. Rastafari, give thanks to such reasoning, man, and give thanks to such strength amongst such brethren, you know. So really, again, family, that reasoning was about Rastafari, you know, organized and centralized. As we all know, these are the words of the emperor himself, organized and centralized. And, you know, 1966 at the visit of the emperor to Jamaica, that was, you know, one of the main things that the emperor highlighted to even I as Rastafari, the importance of us organizing and centralizing, you know, in oneness and harmony, and the black rice and flesh. And at the same time, you know, even yesterday, the Honorable Priest Dougie was highlighting that, you know, even the Black Christ himself, Haile Selassie himself specifically, would have repeated that or have mentioned that, the whole aspect of organizing and centralizing in general. And we use the example of the Organization of African Unity and how the emperor, you know, in the same way brought forward those countries of independent Africa, you know, the same number, 31, just as the 31 heads of Rastafari that, you know, were there with the emperor in King's House. So, as I said, the reasoning very upful, very, very charged meditation, very charged vibration, definitely coming from the good brethren there. I'm talking about Bongo Flako and, of course, the Honorable Priest Dougie, and a lot of strength received even at that time as it relates to a lot of history when it comes to Rastafari thereof, and a lot of vibration of how we can work together as one Rastafari. You know, you'd be surprised that there are those that actually would fight against that. There's no want to see this oneness of, oneness of love amongst what is called the different houses and mansions. And I always like to say, from my experience, they have more Rastafari outside of the what do you call them? The organized houses and mansions. Outside, they have more outside. See, like you said, they have 3 million Rastas in South Africa. I'm sure the vast majority of them is just Ras. Them is Rastafari. Not they may go to a bingy here, they'll just go around anyone. This is Rasta, they be there. You know what I mean? They respect you. If you say it's time to read Psalms, they just come and read Psalms. If they say, well, this is how we do it, brother, you can't come in here with that. They just work with you because it's Rasta and they don't feel no way. And it's not as if they tie in. And then, of course, there are those that are well grounded in whatever order that they hold to. And it's not just Bobo Shanti, 12th tribe, and Nyahbingi. Rastafari have different components. Some of them came up too, even in the reasoning there. But hey, look forward to it. And the Sabbath, after the Sabbath evening, that's what I would say. Look forward to such reasoning. Give thanks for the Honorable Priest and the Honorable Big Guy. Radio Anu, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time. Wonderful. And it will be on this platform, the YouTube platform, by Sunday, Monday evening, though. You could look for it to be premiering Sunday, Monday evening, about the same time too, more than likely. Sunday, if Monday after the Tiger's Nest radio program. Yes, just wonderful joy. So yes, family, of course, as I said, just touching a bit again on the whole aspect of the fasting. We did a program on fasting about a year ago. When did Dr. Leila Africa pass? Just a bit after he passed. We did a program on fasting, and actually we used a bit of a lecture that he did as he was speaking on the whole topic of fasting. And you would hear about this fasting thing. And I can remember personally, the first time I experimented with the fasting vibration. And it was actually as Bobo Shanti. There was nothing ever in my life that ever gave me any reason to go and try to not eat. So it was the fasting. It's the same Black Supremacy book, because early in the game, we get Black Supremacy book, And of course, at the beginning of the Black Supremacy book, if you notice, there's a whole chapter there, a whole page, basically, directly speaking about the Sabbath. Now, it's interesting, the Black Supremacy book is not necessarily a book that teaches you, let's say, the principles of the Congress, because a lot of people, they will ask, hey, so where's the book with the rules? It's a mystic Congress. It don't really set, so it's like something you just have to live and just grow and build yourself, Danielson. Yeah. And so they say the Black Supremacy is a book that you're gonna open and say, well, on Tuesday time you have to wear this and wear that, and you can't go here and don't do this and don't do that. No, the Black Supremacy is like a collection of letters and correspondence that the Black Christ himself, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, would have had over them years, decades, really. So you see correspondence to Queen Elizabeth II, all heads of states, letters to the Emperor Haile Selassie I, and of course the response that he would get from all of these different individuals, showing you the diplomacy of King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, a whole book, In fact, the Black Supremacy book, the one that we usually see the Black Supremacy book was thicker. You know, I used to have a copy of that big one there, but somehow that get away there, but that's how it is. Long time we doing what we doing, eh? So the inside of the Black Supremacy is more a lot of diplomacy, eh? Man, the Black guys teach us diplomacy, how to be diplomats, how to address, you know, heads of states, how to handle ourselves with dignity, dignified, you know, presentation. I'm telling you, a lot of, I can say personally for myself, a lot of, you know, what I carry within myself is just sitting and observing and watching Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie talking about now, but it's the same vibes. Watching Haile Selassie, especially in them early days when we had all of these videos, a lot of these videos you see on YouTube, before the internet, we used to have them on these VHS cassettes, man, like Rastafari and so can tell you, we used to watch these things every day. Every day, Honorable Prophet Kochi Part, still Ras, every day. I mean, the same Land of Judah video, the World Tour video, you know, so, you know, you actually know these things by heart. You understand? So just watching how the emperor would move, understanding him, reading the autobiography, to me, them is must read. It's like people talk about the Bible. Well, that's it there. I mean, the Bible is the Bible, you know. I ain't taking the Bible is the Bible within this world. I don't even want to refer to those as the Bible. The Bible is the Bible. Them is the words of Haile Selassie I, the autobiography 1 and the autobiography 2. Yeah. So as Rastafari, to me, them is must have, must read, must understand. Even if you, for whatever reason, in your tribe, I know some races may not even have them at hand. Maybe they lend them out and don't get them back or whatever. But you're supposed to know them, be familiar with them, go be familiar with the tradition of the emperor, what he went through, especially, well, not especially, both parts, part 1 and 2. But you know, there's a little a sacred, more sacred touch for me with the second part when the emperor went into exile, as it's referred to. But the first part of the autobiographies, deals with the emperor from birth, really. You know what I mean? Until I think when he was crowned King of Kings. So these are must read, my family. Them is the books you should be reading during the time of the Lenten period. If you're working for anybody there, them is the time you're supposed to be trying to get your vacation. But let me come forward to a point I was making. So observing how the emperor moved, you know, and observing how the Black Christ moved, King Emmanuel now, and diplomacy, and reading again the Black Supremacy. That's the point I was making. I'm not switching and going all over the place. I'm coming back. Everything is always full circle. Yeah. And so within the whole Black Supremacy, there is that heights of pure diplomacy. It's a diplomatic book, specifically the one that we know now with the 72 pages. Interesting amount of pages, 72 with the 72 pages. But yet still, in all the diplomacy, it began speaking about the Sabbath. That's how it started. Begin speaking about the first page, when you turn it and you see the Daniel #1 banner on the, I think, the left side, and on the right side, you know, article side on the right side, you see the word about the Sabbath. So we give thanks for such words. So when we had the Black Supremacy, you know, first, and we're going through it and we read it them times, never really come across no bubble within the art of pushing it like that, you know, let's say it like that, until we come across my Lord Raskasa, the Honorable Priest Jermaine, you know, from Bobo Hill specifically, and many things was revealed at that time, but prior to that, yes, coming through certain information and certain knowledge. So we kept up that fasting until 12 o'clock, because that's what the Black supremacy was saying. Well, man looking for the rules and the regulations. So that's a joy. That first page there is like a joy, yeah. So every Sabbath, wear your whites. If you don't go to the tabernacle, a man would stay, man or woman stay in, even if it's to stay in a bedroom. So you could see now that was gone, that was going out to the world. Because on the campus, you know, no bedroom thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even if you're not going, you're supposed to go and read the Bible in your own private space. That's what the Black supremacy was saying, or is saying. And he explained to you that you fast until 12 midday. And after 12 midday, you break your fast. So that's the first encounter. Now it's a long way, but it's full circle. Come right back around. That's the first encounter really I personally would have had with fasting, really, like fasting. I never grew up in any position where I would say, you know, man had to go to bed hungry and none of them kind of thing. Give thanks and praise for I let the earth hear his voice. So, you know, this not eating is a new thing at the time, and just adapted it. So, as I was saying, even listening to Dr. Leila Africa and understanding the whole fasting science now, getting into the studies, you know, there are many different types of fasts, of which I myself would have gone through different types. They're called fasts, but in a sense, what does it mean to fast? Interesting term, fasting. Because many fasts entail eating. Now we hear Babylon have a thing they call fast food. You know, yeah. But now when you go through the fasting, you have water fast, where of course fasting really is when a person is not feasting or eating anything. But then you have a fast where someone just drink water throughout the time period of the fast, however long. Usually when you see people going on a 3-day fast, I mean, not eating nothing, they would take up something like that where they drink water alone. Then you have people that will go on a juice fast. For example, a green juice fast. And a man would bust that for 7 days. You know, even if it's for 1 day, a person go through the day and just juice the fast. They would call that, you know, juice fast. Okay. Again, I said the term fast is like the term vegetarian. Vegetarian, you have lactose vegetarian and people that eat fish that are considered vegetarian, the different levels of vegetarian, but in a sense, it kind of goes against the term vegetarian. So yes, fasting, but yet still eating fruits, because you have a fruit fast doing, where you just eat fruits. So you can go through the whole week and you're on a fruit fast. That's what it's called, fruit fast, but technically you're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything, but it's fruits, watery fruits, and keeping it light and liquid and all of that stuff. So there are different levels, and all of these different fasts that I highlighted, they're all good, obviously, and they all have their different reasons. Some is for rejuvenation. Some of these fasts are for spiritual growth. Some of these fasts are to, you know, destroy cancer cells. Yeah, especially them rigorous fasts. They can kill cancer cells. You know, some of the fasts are to open certain portals within the mind. Some of the fasts are like affirmations to kind of cut and clear, move obstacles, and to bring prosperity, you know, bring in whatever you're bringing in. You know, even people that do funny stuff, people that sprinkle dust, people that get chicken necks and frog legs and throw it in the pot, poof, them kind of people there. They just bust their psalm, you know that. You know that. They just fast, they just kneel long and wail and cry, say, wait. You understand? So it's just techniques, but you got to be in a holy frame of mind, man, and a loving frame of mind. You're not on none of them kind of things. There's just pure joy and happiness and, you know, the betterment of everyone. That's what you are seeking for as you go forward, even as you are fasting. Because now that whole fasting idea, again, an individual who is not accustomed to fast at all, they will discover that staying away from the food, ones would say that they might feel a bit light. Some say light-headed. I somewhat don't like to bring these things in the conversation. It has some sort of a negative energy, like I feel light-headed and all that. All is well. But of course, you will be light. You will really become light, you know, as if when you are under a meditation, you know. So in the same way as you fast, as you stay away from or abstain from whatever it is that you're abstaining from, even if it's a water fast, even the fruit fast, even raw food. I wouldn't call it raw food a fast. That's just overdoing now, you know. But this usually happens when you are accustomed to. So for example, if you're accustomed to eating cooked food, just cook food, and don't cook food, and you decide that you're gonna run some raw food for 3 days. You ain't eating nothing processed, just give it to me raw food. You know, don't make it sound, you know, like, oh, so you're gonna eat salad. Come on, don't make it sound like that. Don't mock it, because you can do so many things in the wrap, and don't have to bake or shake or you can shake or bake or fry or do none of them kind of things there, you know. So when you do that, especially when it's all natural raw, you'll see the difference right away, for sure. Things like even your so-called dreams or your visions, you'll get some vivid dreams, vivid, clear, just going into that realm. So you could imagine a person who's on that level. Most of the time, whatever it is that it will activate, whatever about them that will energize, will activate, you know. Then again, just the natural fasting, back to that fasting itself, not just eating raw, but fasting, and even when you're fasting, you're just eating raw too. You see, it's a combination of so many different things in that realms of fasting, and you could imagine how all these things affect other things. So the fasting now within the Bobo Shanti order is a fasting where you neither eat nor drink. It's not a fruit fast, none of them things there. It's just stop eating, just done that until the fast done. Now, again, let me be clear, it doesn't negate all what I just said before, you know. Them is good fast, everything I said, and once you could put that into your agenda, you should try these things. You know, if you are into the fasting, go on a water fast. And that itself is a cleansing and a flush out, that water fast, or, you know what I mean, bitters, you know, your bitters, your aloes and your things like your neem and your periwinkle. Of course, you have to know how to deal with them in moderation, in the right way, and make your cooling water and cleanse yourself. That's the next way to go through again. But forward again to the Bobo Shanti fast. So there's no eating or drinking whatsoever until the end of, for the full duration of the fast. So you rise in the morning, that's it, and until the midday. And of course, you know, most ones are not nowhere close to the ceremony. So it's just the whole aspect of knowing how to break your fast, wherein you say your prayer while you turn to the east. And usually when you break your fast, one would have a natural cup, a calabash cup, something natural in that sense, usually a calabash, if you get a nice coconut shell cup, and that is what is used to break the fast. You put that away in a nice little bag and come back for that when it's time to break the fast. You know, you put your water in the cup. You wouldn't get the full demonstration here, but on a one away, it's usually about 3 prayers you would say. You turn to the east, standing of course, and you give thanks. You know, it's been a long day, and praise Farai, Jah, Rastafari. You wash your face with that same water that you have in the little cup. Remember, this is not how it's done directly in the tabernacle. The tabernacle is the real thing. We have touched upon that in maybe a previous setting of how the tabernacle goes through. But now I'm just showing you, you know, you're on a one-away thing, you're living in the city, you're living in your own little space or whatever, you're on the job, and it's lunchtime. Them kind of see, you don't know the reality of what's going on. So you have a little cup in your bag, a little nice spring water, you do your thing, wash your face. After such, you turn to the east and say next prayer. Take a next sip of that and rinse that and spit it out. You want to spit that to the south or south to the west, at least, never to the north and to the east. At least to the east, yeah. And when you spit that, you know, you kill Mother Harlot, death to Mother Harlot, dust to Babylon, spit that out. And then you turn again and say next prayer, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, and then you just drink off that water there one time. Now, and just to be fair, I know I see one or two ones do it another way, where they spit out the water first, then wash their face after, but I know how I learned it, but I just had to put that in because I know someone would be saying something like that somewhere. So then that is how you would break that fast. I think it's clear what I just explained. And then you go into the feasting. Of course, as the Honorable Priest Dougie was saying when he was with us, you know, you have to really balance. And I explained this the previous time, but just to go through again, you have to know how to balance how you're going into this feasting aspect again, especially if you're going to be doing this for 40 plus days. The system obviously is going to get accustomed to the change and know that, okay, this person here not eating really until 12 o'clock. You understand? And again, depending on how strong you're going into it, enough ones go strong enough to turn back. So plenty turn back. Plenty turn back. So that's not something you would like. It's not something I think would feel right. You know, I don't have no case where I would have ever turned back. I'd start the fast. Well, I already explained the situation when my matriarch passed on. I wouldn't consider that a turn back at all. That was just a totally different thing altogether. I wouldn't even go into that again. But so you'd have to know how you're going to take the bite, whether you take a big bite or a small bite, as the man say. Again, you know, their standards, the real standard fast is you fast until 12 and you begin your fast at 2. In tabernacle, out tabernacle, where they call it cup fast, hard they got all in the name, cup unless it's out. So it's all right, and I go into all of that. But that's the standard time. 12 to 2 is the time you eat. That's it. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. But you have to fast until 12. So if you believe that, wow, that's hard for me, all right. But you have to fast until 12. As I said, them is more baby fast. So if you think you're at a baby stage, even if you're a big man or woman, well, it's baby fast, yeah. As I said, still, not to be ashamed of, you know, and I'm mocking you, mocking nobody, impossible. If you, it has impossible, man. But I mean, as you're growing, you can't be baby forever. because as I said, one could even fast till midday and decide that they will feast their food until 6 in the evening and then lock off again. That's a next trend. That's a next level. You know, that's the next level. That could be a building level for you too. I never went through them building stage at all. I just go straight into, well, the first set of fast I do, at least I think 4 or 5 years. I have to really sit down and date these things properly, not as far as I can remember. Was the fast until the setting of the sun 6, and it's not no 6 to 6. I don't know what that is. Well, I know what it is, but you know, 6 to 6. You can't disrespect what I do, brother, and call that no 6 to 6 when you go through the whole day. I don't wake up before 6 and drink no tea and eat no bread or whatever ones do. Yeah, wake up before 6 and burn a chalice pipe. Fast going on since the night before, way before midnight too, and go through the whole day until 6. You know, again, that's the fast ones like the Honorable Priest Earl does. He said it right there in the interview we did with him. He said he do that every year. And according to him, because that's the way Jah do it, I still looking to entertain him before this Lent is done to explain that. But it's all right. That will be something we're going to clarify. But again, that's his word. But again, the standard again, you'll see, is the fast till 12 till 2. When you feast, you fast till 12 and begin at 2. Or you fast till 6 and begin at 8 thereabouts again, going into the evening. So those are the standard. And you know, it's not nice to see ones drop off of that standard, especially as, you know, healthy ones in this Congress. Again, a woman on her cycle, you wouldn't be fasting. Pregnant woman, and so you wouldn't be fasting. Even man and man that, you know, you going through a certain level of sickness or affliction. Depending, affliction don't necessarily just mean a cutting. Like things internally, and you know, you need a cup of tea or whatever. And come on, don't be going out with no madness. Just make sure you take care of yourself properly for the time. So all of these things is very, very important. Of course, if it's something new, you have to be going through times when you're like, wow, I wonder if I can make it and all of that. You gotta know. Don't drive yourself to the limit where you're going to drop down nowhere. Trust me. It's better you go and refresh and revive yourself. Don't care what nobody has to say. That's their business. You got to make sure you take care of yourself properly. But don't weak out when you don't have to weak out. Well, you don't have to weak out, but that's not weaking out. But sometimes you yourself will run to the bleachers when you ain't got to run to no bleachers. You just got to stick it out a little more. But wash your face and move on, man. Burn a pipe. Well, in my case, let me speak for me, eh? Yeah, because them things is serious things too. Marijuana, now you see. Even I can't talk about spliff and certain. I don't know about man say, oh, I can't fast and smoke. I don't know about smoking. But you see the cloud making machine. For me too, let me speak of me, eh? Man, them things, they need the highest grade during them fasting time. This is what keep me up. Yeah, just wake you up and keep you going, brother. Yeah, man, nothing sweeter than a whole day fast and you burning your chalice. That's me, eh? I talking about me. I don't know what the next man can do. But yeah, man. And a good principle is that, according to my knowledge, you know, when you're keeping up the cup fast as well, you don't, well, the way I learned it first, was you actually don't smoke until you break the fast. But then I come to realize that, okay, I understand it, but more than likely that would, well, you know, you'll be in the tabernacle because most people are supposed to be in the tabernacle unless you're in the kitchen or doing certain other security or other important works. But the congregation in general should be in the tabernacle. We don't smoke in the tabernacle, you know. So then I understood that level. Okay, I understand it still, but it's still a good practice to do as the Father teach, that you wake up early. So you can't be fasting and wake up late and so. No, man, no. That is regular days. You have to, the fasting is something you need to take care of. You need to monitor it every day properly. Show it love, make sure that the universe understand that you appreciate this moment here. So you got to get up early every day. Can't miss out. Remember, no sex, you know? Mama said, hey, catch you there, what? Yeah. Something wrong? Maybe you can't do that. So every day you got to wake up early and partake your herbs before the sunrise. That's what the Father said. That's what I've been taught. That he say, you smoke before the sunrise, before you come Psalms reading, and then after that you're done until the fast break. So if you can really practice that, no, I'm not telling you to go stifle yourself, but I think it's a good practice. When I fast until 12 in the Lent, I keep that up personally when I fast till 12 in the Lent. You know, if I fast until the 6th down set in, I don't keep it that rigid. I don't know. I just don't keep it that rigid, but I try to keep it till 12. But trust me, from my fasting till midday, whether in tabernacle, out tabernacle, wherever, and I fast until 12, I'm doing the 12 thing, you know, 12 till 2. Yeah, man, I make sure I burn in before the sunrise. Well, that's a regular thing. And keep it after that until the breaking of the fast. And you know, in the fast break, you need a next cup. Well, that's me again. And then you soup or you sip and you warmth. And remember still, you know, you're certain, you have to hydrate yourself. You know, your coconut water, them things is key things and them times there. What was that? Your green juice. Remember, I explained to you what to get and what you should green. Get your spinach and so your callaloo. That's two tops. Say moringa and so be, you know, be moderate with that too. Moringa, if you know it well, and certain different things. Even for the man, all the sauce, I believe, and some good herbs for the man, you know, to blend up. You know, the Spanish needle and so the good herbs in them times they to blend up. And make sure you get 5, 3, or 7, 9 herbs. You just blend that green juice, drink that daily as your water, put that in. Yeah. As I said, some man say, King Emmanuel said that, you know, you're not from the sea. As I said, we've had that discussion with different priests. There's a different interpretation thereof. Some man break well because of that. They don't back the sea mass. Next priest will say, well, no, you not remember his fish jar was talking about. And as again, when man does buy fish, it's not like if the fish catch long time, the fish is fresh fish. So two man does just go down and get the fresh fish. Jada say, well, we can't be buying no fish right now because them fish just come out of the sea and the sea clean it up. So this is what I'm saying. So about if you catch your fish now, I want to know for the fish eaters, because you know we need enough fish. I'm not into no animal eating, Rasta. And I'm not petting it either. I don't care who vex your business that. I love you very much, but man, I ain't eating no animal, no. I ain't eating no animal. Them is my brother. They have sisters. They have children and so. Yeah, man, they have souls, Rasta. So anyway. So what about if you get your fish before the Lent and you freeze it, and then during the Lent you can use it because it wasn't caught during the time of the sea cleaning out. No, I'm just because we evolving the thing, you know, the thing growing. That is really the mindset at the time. Let's just be honest. That was the mindset. True man didn't go and buy no frozen fish and fish fillet. You know? And the fish bubble them does eat. Yeah, fish I'm talking about. The fish bubble them does eat is a little thing, a little, like a scene, about a little, man does say 7 inches, but guys see man frying fish is some little scene there. And when I heard of the fish thing first, they say you have to stuff it with enough pepper and fry that thing down good, you know. Yeah, just giving you an idea of how it goes. So I'm just saying now, if that's the case, because the sea cleaning out itself, oh, if you get it and you freeze it. But you see, I in a sense, I just kind of played with that. Yeah, because that is just show you how King Emmanuel stay. King Emmanuel is a natural man, and ain't too much in a freezer. Stove is the real ancient ways. Wood fire, man. Everything you see going nowadays, wood fire. So I coming back to the sea moss now. And the ones that delight in the fish might be offended, but just say, you know, man, no, man. Crunching bones. So the sea moss now. So when you take the sea moss, most of the sea moss ones buy, the sea moss that come out of the sea long time. You know, man like Prophet Man, I answer that have his sea moss. I know the man have sea moss there. You know, just there. So if you could use that sea moss today, when it's time for the Lent, well, you can't touch it because the sea cleaning out itself. Do the maths, Rasta. One thing I love this order here, and I need to understand we the vanguards of this. Enough man just sitting and waiting for what the next man have to say. And who could do this and who could do. I ain't waiting on nobody, Rasta. I just doing what I doing, and I just doing what I doing, and I doing my part because I know what I've been sent to do. You know, I don't even have to wait on nobody permission to do and just do what I gotta do because I just doing what I do. Who can stop I straight up? Like a real thing. Yeah, because King Emmanuel were. So family, give thanks. You don't know the Sabbath coming in on this side here. And might put this, yeah, this one will be up for all to view and hold the vibes and keep us straight, you know. As I said, well, this is rich sea moss and some almond milk that we made ourselves, obviously. Blended it with the sea moss and some ripe bananas and a touch of nutmeg. I know some ones don't like the nutmeg and the touch of cinnamon and a bit of what do you call that stuff? Maple syrup in this. And some cashew nuts, raw cashew nuts, something else, some pecans. Beautiful. So as I said, you know, in fact, before I go, remember you could definitely order a lot of your food items from us. We have created the Priest Isaac's Holistic Food Store. And you could just definitely contact us. Of course, you know the information. You're right here on the website, specifically, you see it here. Priest Isaac Institute.com. This is real good. And get your Irish moss, get your raw walnuts, get your raw almond and different things, your spirulina powder, your natural olive oil, organic bay leaf, organic almond butter. Yeah, all available for the eye. So love, family. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. And give thanks for Rastafari in the midst of us. It was a joy. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Blessed love.